It's April 2018 and I'm here in the beautiful city of Gothenburg, Sweden at the Liseberg Amusement Park to check out the latest construction taking place on Valkyria, their brand new B&M dive machine. Now this ride was originally set to open earlier on this year. It's now going to be a summer 2018 ride and you can just see the ride over there in the distance. You've got the lift hill and that corner just before it'll go down the drop. But the piece of track that is going to be sat right there at the top of the drop is just here on the car park at Liseberg. Now I'm really excited to get on this. I will be coming back to the park later on in 2018 and you can also see over there as well how there's a bit of track for this new ride. But yeah, look at this, let's have a walk around just so you guys can see it. So yeah, this new ride is going to be 2,296 feet long, making it the longest dive coaster in the whole of Europe. It's also the first roller coaster to be manufactured by B&M, which is a Swiss company that's coming to Sweden. So that's a really interesting fact for you. There is going to be an inverted coaster coming to Gröna Lund in Stockholm in the next couple of years. So I look forward to seeing that one. It's going to have a height of 154 foot, so yeah, it's got a good height to it, and to be honest, when we get into the park, you'll see really just how high it looks, especially compared to the other rides in the park. The drop itself is going to be 164 feet, obviously that's going to go down into the tunnel, the one that they've been struggling to build. I love all this just here. How rare is it, the fact you can see a B&M in construction and stand so close to it like this? To think in a couple of months' time there's going to be riders coming along this section. Really scared because they're going to be going down that big drop. It's got 3 inversions, an Immelmann, a 0G roll and also a Heartline roll, and it will reach a top speed of 65 miles an hour. But yeah, it's really fascinating to see all of that. And eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed if we go over to this part of the car park, there's some more track over here as well. But obviously, with the ride being delayed, it means that we've been able to come and see this. And it's also fascinating seeing it from inside the park, I must say. I was there yesterday, we filmed a full vlog from inside the park, and it will be coming onto the channel very, very soon, if it's not already. So make sure you do check that out, our full vlog here from Liseberg. Here's some more sections of track. The only bit of track what's left to put in is, of course, the actual drop itself and that first inversion, which is the Immelmann. So we can assume, well, this will be all the track for that section. Everything else is in the station, the brake run, the other 2 inversions are in, and yeah, look at this. Wow, it's amazing to see the B&M track. Really beefy track, isn't it, especially when you stand right next to it. I like how all the pieces are marked here as well. There we are, you got section #8, #9. That to me obviously looks like part of the Immelmann just there, or maybe the bottom of the drop possibly. Wow, look at that. Not loads of track left though, is there really? I suppose, well, there's only a couple of elements left on the ride. I can't see much more about. I mean, there's these sections here, and there's a few pieces just over there behind the green fence, but you can't see them from down here. I can from on the rides in the park. But yeah, there's not loads of track pieces left, really. Probably say about maybe 8 or 9 track pieces. Look at the size of these support columns, wow. But yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to start over here on the car park, and a lot of you may know have seen a B&M in construction. Obviously I've seen a few at Alton Towers. You know, obviously I saw when Air was being built, what's now known as Galactica, followed that quite a bit. Oblivion, but I was really small, I was what, 5 years old, but I remember going up there with my parents and seeing it all being built and thinking, oh my God, I'd never go on that. Look at me now travelling the world to ride roller coasters. But anyway, that's enough from the car park. Let's go over to the entrance, get inside the park and have a look at how Valkyria looks on the landscape inside. So I'm crossing the park then now, and the first thing that you notice is the scale of this new ride. It is absolutely huge, and it's certainly changed the skyline here at Liseberg. The second thing that you notice is this huge station building, really nicely themed, very highly detailed as well, with all the little spires on there. Obviously it is a work in progress, but from what we can see here so far, it looks fantastic. I love all the planting around here. It looks incredible, it really does. I'm assuming this is going to be the entrance to the queue line, up these steps just here, maybe in through that door just there. And we'll see what I think is more of the queue line in just a moment when I head round to the right hand side of the site. But yeah, you can just see here the piece of track on the left hand side. That's where it comes back in from the brake run and into the station. So let's have a little move around this way and get some more views of the ride. Obviously it all fits in with the theme of myths and legends. We had Loki, the Intamin Gyro Swing, which opened last year, that's in this area, and also Balder as well. So there's 3 major attractions within this area. The quality of all this is really nice down here. You've got all the rocks, This hillside's been created, some really good planting and things in there as well. Obviously with Liseberg, it is an amusement park, not a theme park. They've never really done heavy theming until the past couple of years when they built Mechanica and they started all that. Now I'm assuming up there inside that little building, that is part of the queue line. I'm thinking you might go into the building up here and then round and across into that part there where you'll get some really good views of the coaster. And talking of views, we'll make our way around this way. You'll get to see where the drop is going to be and also that tunnel which will come straight back out into the first inversion on the ride, which will be an Immelmann. I love how you can see all the construction taking place on this. It would have been even better, of course, being here and riding it on opening day. But you never know, I might be able to come back out here for opening day later in the year. I will try to, but I'll definitely be coming out here and experiencing it later in the year, whether that's opening day or not. This is strange, isn't it? Look at this. So normally with a B&M coaster, you wouldn't see that. But I love it. It's great to actually see this ride during construction. This view is really going to change, and we're lucky to be inside the park and get to see it like this, actually. Because it's quite rare with rides that you actually get to see them being built like this, especially a B&M coaster. But yeah, look back at the station from there. I love that building, and it fits in really nice there with Balder just next to it. This site used to be home to an Intamin launch coaster called Kanonen, and it was not a bad little ride actually. I quite enjoyed it, but I'd much rather have a B&M dive machine here to replace it. But that was like literally sat just up there like on the concrete, and it had like a big station building, and yeah, it wasn't themed at all really, but it wasn't a bad little ride. Like I said, it used to have like a launch out here into a top hat. And now look at it, you know, you've got this huge B&M coaster here. I like how it passes over the river here as well. This runs right through the middle of the park, which obviously means that you can have some really nice moments where you're coming over this ride, especially on this overbank just here, where you're going to be looking down at the river. So obviously that overbank's going to be really intense. Here's a look then at the construction fence, which is all around that tunnel. So as I mentioned at the start of this update a few minutes ago, they've been having a lot of issues with building this tunnel, mainly because of digging down into the rock, into like the clay, what's underneath the ground. Here in Sweden, they found it quite hard to actually do that. So that's why it's taken a lot longer than expected. B&M and RCS that have been building the ride, they've done a lot of it now, other than this section really. So you can see just here where it's going to come down the drop. That piece of track that I showed you on the car park will be going in just there. It'll come down the drop and then enter the tunnel somewhere around this location, go underneath here, back up into an Immelmann, and that Immelmann will then connect to this piece of track here on the left hand side. Then you go straight up into the overbank and down into the other inversions, but it certainly looks impressive. I love how it looks on the skyline, and this is probably one of my favourite views of the ride from just here. Look at that, wow. So I'm standing right underneath Valkyria now, and you can see just here how on this support there's two steel cables that are actually helping to support that temporarily until the drop and Immelmann are put in place. And you can see just here they've not tightened up the bolts down here yet, mainly because obviously a structure like this needs to have a bit of give in it. So you can see just there how that's not all been tightened up yet, but don't worry, it will be before the ride opens. And obviously just here the cables are attached just onto this at the side. I like how they've themed that in actually, just so it fits in with it at the moment. Obviously you've got all the rocks around here. Let's put that that footer in down there, look. And obviously you can just see how they've put like a bag around it and some vines, what's got the cable in. So once the coaster has passed over the overbanked turn just there, it will make its way up into the second inversion that we can see just here. That's a 0G roll. And in a second we'll go around the corner and see where it goes after that. But yeah, a really nice 0G roll there. Looks like there's some planting going in underneath it as well, from what I can see through the gate. So hopefully they'll start to put a bit of landscaping underneath this section of the coaster, so it really does fit in. It'll then make its way around this section here to this Heartline roll, the third and final inversion on the ride. Before banking round to the right hand side just there, making its way onto the brake run and back round into the station. So this is probably probably the section of Liseberg that's changed the most with the construction of Valkyria. Here, there actually used to be the park's only dark ride. It was located in a show building just down the bottom here, behind where the fence is now. It was like based on like fairy tales, and it had like all dolls in it and things. It wasn't a very good dark ride in my opinion, so I'd much rather have a new coaster here. But yeah, let's talk about the layout of this section of the ride. Obviously we're around the back end now, where you can see just here the zero-G roll, so it makes its way through that, the second inversion on the ride, dipping down just here and then into this upward helix. I'd imagine that section of the ride will be really quite intense just there. Then make its way round just here, drop down to the left and round into the third and final inversion, which is the Heartline roll just round the back of the building just here. Like I say, it is the longest dive coaster to be built in Europe. I'm glad it's got quite a lot to it actually. It's a huge ride and I can't wait to come back and experience it later this year. And obviously it is themed to Norse mythology, and you can see just there we've got like some planting on into the middle there, which looks quite interesting. There's quite a few trees and things on the other side of the fence there as well. So I look forward to coming back and seeing it. There we go then, that's all for this construction update here from Valkyria. There will only be one of these. Obviously I'm from the UK, I'm not from Sweden. With Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I've been going there pretty much every week doing updates. Same when they were building Wicker Man at Alton Towers last year, because some of the local parks to me, I love watching them being built. This one's a bit further away. I won't be travelling out here to do any more updates unfortunately, but I will be here either on the opening day or around when this ride opens, subject to if I can fit it in my calendar. But it certainly is an impressive ride. Look at it, how it covers so much of the park as well. Bear in mind, it's all the way over there. The drop's going to come down there and that'll be in next time we're here to come and experience this ride. Thank you very much for watching another video here on Theme Park Worldwide. Hope you've enjoyed it. I love bringing these videos to you guys, and especially for those of you that can't actually get out here to the parks or haven't been out here yet, it gives you more of an idea of what to expect when you do jump on the plane and come out here to see these rides and parks. So check out our other videos here from the trip. There's a full vlog here from Liseberg Amusement Park. I'm going out to Kolmarden and Grona Lund as well, so make sure you check those out. Thank you very much for watching, and from me, Sean Sandbrook, that means it's time to cue those credits. Bye guys.